How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine. You don't look like a guy who would be filled with frightening thoughts.
Neither did Norman Bates.
Norman Bates is a frightening fellow himself. What makes people frightened, and how do you get it down on paper?
Well, I think people are frightened of almost anything, you know, as far as the unknown, anything unexpected, anything that's going to jump out of them, at them in the dark. You know, I remember the final scene in Carrie where the hand comes up out of the grave and grabs Amy Irving. If you can get people with their defenses down and get them in the open, you can grab them and do a job on them. And that's what I like to do.
What, did you always have these thoughts inside of you, or did you just see it as a way to make money as a writer?
No, really, I didn't go to the market. The market came to me. As far back as I can remember, I've been interested in ghosts and goblins and things that go bump in the night. And in the early 70s, I was writing stories for those magazines where if you hold them up by the side, a picture falls out. You don't show your mother, that kind of thing. And getting anywhere from $100 to $200 to $300 for stories. My wife and I were just married. I was working in a laundry, and she would say, "Hurry up and think of a monster," whenever the bills came due. So I did the best I could.
Has there ever been anything that frightened you in real life that's made it into a story? Anything out of your childhood that turned up as a book?
Yeah, there are a lot of things, and I suppose the one thing that scares all little kids is the boogeyman, the thing in the closet. And, you know, I can remember Bill Cosby's rap about covers. Covers are magic. You know that there's nothing under the bed, and you know that if you keep your feet under the covers, it will never grab you anyway. And even as a grown-up, I think that as children, we fear these things and we let our fears out. We tell people because we're unsophisticated. And as we get older, we still have the fears. We just sublimate them, you know, and we don't tell people. But still, most people, when they're alone in the dark, things that you would laugh at in the daylight begin to seem a little bit like Technicolor.
There's always a period for me when between the time you get in bed and the time you fall asleep where stuff doesn't make correct sense. And I remember as a kid thinking that I was I'd wake up in a real cold sweat out of that gray period, thinking that the bed was covered with snakes.
Yeah.
And when you get to examining it, of course, it was covered with snakes. It was an ugly joke that